fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, Helmas, next, Kabit Cafe Best.
Spirit.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit.
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit. Activate. Oh no. Holy Spirit. Activate. Holy Spirit. Activate. Activate.
Hey. They say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit.
You better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Can y'all hear it?
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit.
You better get them, Lord.
Can y'all hear?
Before I get them, Lord.
Like last time, y'all can hear. Are you mad, girl? Are you mad? Are you mad, bitch? Big mad. My husband. Job.
Hey. They say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it.
Get active.
If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face.
I'm on time.
Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit.
You better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit.
Do we have a problem? My husband has 2 jobs and I don't have to be here. Let me make sure this microphone working. Okay, yes, it's on. I just like to make sure. I don't have to be here. Did you guys think something else or what? Some people have to be here, but I don't. Hold on, my hair's in my face. I don't have to be here. Like, I really don't. But hello. So, yes, I am big like I never left. I came over here to be messy. I absolutely did. I came to be messy. So, hey, y'all. Happy Saturday. Happy birthday to my boo, Alexis. Happy birthday, Alexis Monet and Living Color TV. Boom, look at my boo right there. Bam, I remember, and I didn't need your help. Look at me. Look at the Lord. So, here, flip. And shout out to my boo, JB Boopsy. Is it JB Boopsy? Is that, because I hope I'm saying it right. But I love you. Happy birthday. So, I know it's y'all birthday today. Also, I think it's, who else is? It's another birthday today. Azalea Music. Azalea Music. Shout out to Azalea Music. Y'all go subscribe to my girl. But yes, it's her birthday too. So happy birthday, Azalea girl. And happy birthday, Alexis. I love you. Shout out to Living Color TV. Y'all get over there and subscribe. And yes, and shout out to my boo J right here. J Boopsy. Period. Oh, there she is. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Where Alexis? This is my house. Alexis, where my girl at? Alexis, where this go? Alexis. This is my house. If your face is cold, put some lotion on your face. Happy birthday. But this is my house. Treat me like a woman. Oh, I felt that. Ooh, ooh. Happy birthday to you. You're welcome. You're welcome, girl. Happy birthday. Oh my goodness. All my birthday songs are horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible. But happy birthday, everyone. Oh my God, I love y'all. So we're about to jump right into these topics because I don't have a long time. So what's first? Shout out to all of y'all in the chat. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. But we're going to jump right into it. So this Passover here talking about Beyonce. And we're going to listen to what he had to say about Beyonce. Oh my goodness. Or on a Sunday.
We're called to say something. Beyonce just released Sacrilege. The only thing I can account for some of this stuff is
hurry up.
Somebody done sold their soul to the devil.
Ooh. Ooh.
Now, all I can say to you is this. When you sell your soul to the devil, you get the short end of the stick. Because you're not going to live but so long. And when you leave here where you're going to be there forever.
Alrighty.
So it's not a good deal. I want to preach to you, missionaries. I want to preach to you. But this piece of trash that's released.
Oh, who are you talking to?
And she named it Church Girl. Now, I had thought to try to read the lyrics to you, but I struggled to listen to them.
No, you did not.
It's too bad. It's too bad. It's not for public consumption. It would be a desecration if I read this. And I don't recommend it. You know, parents, I know all your little children, they're all of them 3 months old, they got a cell phone. But I don't recommend that you let them listen to this. It's the worst. Am I right? It's the worst. You can't get, it gives you to sample the song of a real church lady, Tweak a Clock, I don't know whether she knew what she was going to do with the song or not. She knows she's not saved.
Ooh.
I don't talk about anything that's not public.
Yes, sir.
Anything that's public is fair game. And I pray to God that a stiff denunciation of what she did with that song is put out.
This is long.
I've been
down. Yes. Wait a minute. First of all, I want to say drop it like a thotty, drop it like a thotty. Drop it like a thotty, drop it like a thotty. I want to start off by saying that. And I also want to start, finish it off by a pastor. You'll probably have a stroke if you find out that Beyonce has a church. Like, does she know she have a church? Does she have a church? Don't go up there and tell him that Beyonce congregation is bigger than his congregation. She has a church. Get into that. Get into that. She has a church, and it's bigger than yours. Ooh. She has a church, and they actually sing her songs in it. Did you know that? he would probably stroke out if somebody told him that Miss Church Girl herself has a church. Like, did you know that? Did you know that she get more money in the offering plate to you? Now, Beyonce has nothing to do with this church. She has nothing to do with it. These are people that decided on their own that they loved her so much that they look at her as a deity. And they made a church. It's called the Church of Beyonce. And it's a beautiful church. They got beautiful choir gowns. Their choir gowns is better than theirs. Their choir gowns is better than y'all's. All of that. All of that. So, yeah, here probably... I don't, sir, this is just the song. I don't know how you got all of that out of a song. She sold her soul. She ain't no Christian. She the devil. You know, like, what? What? I'm like, you got all of that from Church Girl? You heard her signing the contract and the song. You said you didn't even listen to the whole song. So you heard her signing the contract? Is it a signature or something in there that I didn't hear, sir? Because I'm just saying, I don't get this. I just feel like this is a lot, and I feel like this is personal. You personally don't like Beyonce, which is fine. You know, you're entitled to your own opinion. You don't like her because there's plenty of people that have mixed, and she's not like literally mixing. I mean, you know, there's a little sample. A gospel song, a little piece of it throughout the sample, but it's not like the whole song is her talking about God, you know, whatnot. And then she just say the bridge is dropping like a thotty. Like, I'm like, I feel like you're kind of pushing it, you know, because it's more so of a mind thing over a song thing, you know, with the song Church Girl. So I'm just like, yeah, you tried it. Like, you tried it. There's plenty of people out here that have mixed the two and have been crazy disrespectful throughout the song, extremely blasphemous, you know, and all those things. So if you're not going to call out all of them, I feel like, why just single one out? You're singling Beyonce out because you don't like her. I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. Because Beyonce never said she sold her soul to the devil. As far as I'm concerned, Beyonce has always been a Christian. She's sang gospel songs. She sang at churches, even with Destiny's Child. They've done it together. Yeah. So I'm like, that doesn't mean that she's not saved. There are plenty of artists that do music and are saved. You know, are saved people. It's just a job, you know, to them. So there's plenty of people that's coming into the congregation that are strippers and escorts and corner girls and, you know, all type of stuff that come into your church that want to be saved or a sense of God or a sense of religion. And I feel like saying things like this about just people in general, it kind of pushes people away. You know, it kind of makes them, because this is the whole thing. People have a problem with Christians in the first place, is that they're extremely judgmental but hypocritical at the same time. Extremely. Like they're mad, judgmental, but extremely hypocritical, because they act as if they don't sin and they don't make mistakes, you know, and stuff like that. They act like they don't do those things. You know, they can be forgiven because they go to church every Sunday. So since I go to church every Sunday, it doesn't matter the things that I'm doing because I'm being forgiven. But you know, so it's just, you don't know you don't know Beyonce. You don't know her family. So you don't know how they're raising their kids, what church they go to. You don't know any of those things. So to just base the song and say that she's an atheist that signed a contract with the devil and worships him, like, where do you get all of that? Like, out of that song? Like, that's crazy to me. But that's how he feel. And like I said, this is another thing. One of the big reasons why people are turned away from the church, you know, because of things like this, examples like this, to where you're outwardly being judgmental. So you're not going viral because you're saying something heartwarming, life-changing, thought-provoking. It's more so just you just being judgmental. You know, this is all an opinion. You know, there may be people in the congregation that don't agree with what you're saying, but their opinion does not matter, because if they want to defend a subject, then they're looked at as heathens or sinners, you know, so they're kind of scared. And that's why a lot of people call churches cults too, because there's a lot of fear, you know, when it comes to a church. You fear of doing certain things out of judgment, you fear, you know. So yeah, But it is what it is. If that's how he feels, that's how he feels. So let's get into what Tank had to say, because he came live and Tank decided to respond.
Today's message with Romans 10:9 and 10, which says, "Thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved." Who are you, you pastor, to question the salvation of Beyonce? Who gives you the authority and that right to question what she believes, what she has confessed with her mouth, and what she believes in her heart because of a song sang? It seems as if you don't know, haven't been told that twerking is not only in the streets. My God. Church girls twerk. I'm just trying to make you understand that whatever world you are living in that seems to be above us, it's not a real one. A judgment that you've casted, assuming that this woman has sold her soul to the devil, immediately condemning her to hell. Where did you find this position? Who gave you this position? Who gave you God's position? The commandments of Moses say we must stone her. What say you? Oh, Jesus liked this one. He took his time with this one. He started doodling in the sand. I want to start off today's message with,
oh no, you was not doing all that over again. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. But isn't he cute? Like, I don't know what he said. He's just really hot. So I was just like, ooh, he's fine. But shout out to him. I feel like I agree with some of what he said. I just don't know what that was. So so there was a question in the chat from Bossy Unbothered. She said the whole pages out of the Bible, whatnot, and use this. Okay, cool. Listen. That would have been a really good thing for the pastor to have been talking about. That's not in the song Church Girl. It's not in there. I'm not even going to argue with your question. The thing about it is, that's not the discussion. That wasn't the topic at hand. He's too worried about this song Church Girl because she said drop it like a thotty. Like, I mean, whatever. So, but yeah, that I would understand. I would understand someone questioning that, about you talking about the Bible in this way. But Beyonce does have writers, not in a defense, but just saying, like, Beyonce does have writers. She writes with them, so just because she said it doesn't mean that it was her idea to say it, but she still did. So that's why I said that poses a valid question, but that is not the subject at hand. You talking about Church Girl. So very valid, so that's what I said. I'm not biased, so I will not be biased. And I don't know about any, like, don't get me wrong. We've all heard about the Illuminati and the elite. That's why I took off my chain, because they still ain't pick me and whatnot. I got sacrifices ready, all of that stuff for nothing. Okay? They didn't even pick me. I'm like, I'm perfect. But it's whatever. So, but we don't know these things to be facts. We absolutely don't. I know we've seen a lot of questionable things, from Beyonce. At times I'm not going to make it seem like, I'm not going to make excuses, Baphomets and things like that. I get it. I get it. But I don't have any, like, literal solid proof. And Beyonce has never came out and stated that she's not. I mean, or she's a part of what she couldn't anyway, obviously. But still at the same time, as far as I'm concerned, especially back in the day, she had a gospel song on each album. Okay. All the albums, the Destiny Child albums, right? They had a little gospel song on them, a little piece of the Lord on each of the albums, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm basing it on things I know that to be facts. I've seen Beyonce, Kelly Michelle perform live and later on in life, not like at the beginning of Destiny Child. No, like later on in life. even when they like weren't a group anymore, come together and sing a gospel song on stage. Like I've seen that. So, you know, just because people don't wear it on their sleeve don't mean that they aren't that, you know. So that's why I say I can't question that. Only Beyonce can tell us that. But to just literally hear a song and feel like you know all of these things based off of him, whatever. So yeah, moving right along. Shout out to Beyonce, Tank, and that's it, because that passed her. Yeah, moving right along. So Doja Elf is really struggling with life since her eyebrows have been gone. And she said, I really don't like anybody on the internet. I truly have like 50K actual fans. And then someone replies to her and says, we don't like you either then, LOL. She says, good, be, bye. Doja Elf. Look, now I'm trying to let you transcend and, you know, into a dwarven, you know, until, you know, whatever you're trying to be. Okay, girl, elf, like whatever you have going on over there, girl. You and that mole. But this is why I don't like you. And it's also why I don't like Megan the Pegasus. It's also something I don't like about her. Y'all are mad fake. And what I mean by that is y'all love going in these comments at people and being disrespectful and cussing them out and stuff like that. Then y'all get on TV with your legs crossed and want to be respected. Y'all just act like y'all the nicest people. It's like, no, y'all not. Like, honestly, most of y'all are bitches. Like, and then not in a nice way. So, I mean, that's just me being honest. You know, a lot of these girls are really mean girls. So, I just think it's really fake. You know, they're just like, girl, when you just cussing people out in comments, telling them F off, calling them B words, all this, like, you're just doing all of that, but then you come on Good Morning America and you want to act like you're just this pristine, sweet person that wants everyone to treat you nicely because that's what you do. You don't. No different than the situation right here with Doja. She said she just agreed with you. Okay. Well, because I don't know if I'm one of them fans you pick, so we don't like you either. Since you don't like us, we don't like you. So now you go right to the good night, bitch. And like, why is it jumping all? Why is it jumping in that Doja Elf? Like, girl, why you gotta call out her name? So what's she do to be called out of her name? You always want to put something up shading people because you do have a lot of fans. So for you to say I only have like 50K that actually mess with me, you know, they're actually real. Everybody else is fake. So okay, well, how I know I hit that 50K? I don't know that. So since you saying it's only 50K, okay, I don't like you either then. Okay, since you saying you don't like me, like, but why Doja even go forward and say anything like that besides you want attention? You know, which is mad weird. Because Doja, I feel like you're over it. Doja's been over it for a long time, okay? Doja is over music and all of this stuff. She's over it, okay? A lot of people don't realize what it takes being a star, like what it takes, what goes into it. The constant flights, living out of suitcases, living out of hotels. You're being pulled here, you're being pulled. It's like you never really feel like you have control. And then when you do get breaks, it's not a real break or a real vacation because you're already thinking about what's coming. Because as soon as you're done with these little vacations that they give you, which are short, these little vacations that they give you, you got to hit the ground running. As soon as you're done, you got to hit the ground running again. So it's just you're constantly here, there, flying it. It's a lot, you know, being famous, being a star. The constant promotion, radio station to radio station, even some shows, and then you're doing a lot of concerts, especially being on tour, making videos while you're on tour, doing collaborations while you're on tour, so still going to the studio. Like, it's a lot, and it could get to the point to where you just don't want to do it anymore. That's why a lot of artists stop, and why a lot of people stop, because it's a lot. It's a lot to be famous. They don't tell y'all about that. You know, you just look at the glitz and the glam and you think that that's all it comes with. No, it's a lot of hard work of being a star. So I think she's just over it. I think it's a lot has changed, a lot has transpired. You see how quick, especially in this world, being entertainment, being in Hollywood, how fake people are quickly. Hollywood is the type of place that makes you hate people. It makes you don't trust anyone coming out of Hollywood, type of situation. Because the people that are supposed to be close to you stab you in your back immediately. They come against you immediately. It be your own people. So it make you lose faith, like in humanity, because it's just like, I can't trust nobody. Like a situation with Britney Spears, stuff like that. It's like, I can't trust anyone. There's no one, and I can't trust nobody. I can't even trust a dog. I mean, my son's sitting over here recording me and Ish for money. I can't trust nobody, type of situation. So it's enough to, make you lose faith in people to where you just, I don't trust nobody. I don't want nobody around me. Don't speak to me. Don't talk to me. And y'all wonder why a lot of people harm themselves in their lives. If you feel like you have nothing to live for, rich don't mean problems gone. They still go through what we go through. Just like we have anxiety, they have anxiety. We go through postpartum, they go through postpartum. We go through depression, they go through depression. Those things, they're human. Those things don't go away because you're rich. No, more money, more problems. More money, more problems. It doesn't mean I'm rich, so I will never be stressed. I will never be this. You're still all of those things. Very so much all of those things you still are. So yeah, I just think Doja's over it, honestly. I think she is over Hollywood. She is over the people, and she want to make an exit, but she can't. Contractually, with the contracts and stuff she signed to, she can't. But if she could run, she'd run. That's how I feel about Doja. I feel like Doja's just over it. So when people are like, oh, she cut all her hair off, she cut this off, she's going crazy, she's sick. No, she could just be over it. You can have all of these people around you and no one hear you. No one is actually considering what you want because they have their motives. They're too concerned about getting you to do what's going to put money in their pocket. And the majority of the time, it's not really done with malice. If you're a hairstylist, you're going to make sure you're doing her hair. You're going to make sure that you're posting that you're doing her hair. You're going to want to grow your business. So if she's sitting there going through something and trying to talk to anybody, you're really going to be trying to hear that. You trying to, look, girl, turn to the side. Move your head. Like, girl, okay, look, I'm trying to get, so it's like, because you running the business, and whatnot. So, yeah, I just think a lot of artists go through it. All artists, I feel at some point get to the point where you just want to be done, just like, but you can't. So, but yeah, so shout out to Doja. Y'all wonder why Rihanna ain't, y'all wonder why that woman won't get no booth. Rihanna like, look, I'm done with all my contracts. done. Like, y'all leave me alone. Like, y'all don't know how it is, so. But yeah, so hair flip. But moving right along to Pegasus. So Pegasus did this new song, and what is it called? Y'all feeling the Megan Thee Stallion or her? So on Good Morning America. So Pegasus came for, y'all know she dropped her album Friday, wasn't it Friday? That just passed Friday, yesterday. So she drops her album, and she didn't already have 2 singles prior to this one, her. I don't know if the other singles, because I haven't even had a chance to listen or anything. So I can't judge her album yet. So I can't say anything about the album, but I am going to listen to it. And I will say this song, Her, from what I've heard of it, I don't think it's a bad song. I think that, honestly, I think this is a new song, like a newer song that she was just working on recently, especially with all the success of like Beyonce and Drake too, because Drake's had success too with this sound, this like Vogue sound, if you will. So I think that she went back in the stew, like, let's put something together that's, melodic, but, at the same time, people can still dance. I feel like she just yeah. So I think it's a decent song. I need to listen to it a couple more times before I judge a song. I like to make sure I hear like 3 or 4 times, because you can hear a song once and not feel it, but then hear it again and love it. Like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. So I don't want to be extremely judgmental like right off the bat, because I'm not biased. So I'm not gonna just be like, oh, it's trash, and this and that. So I'm not gonna say it's trash. I do think it's different. I think that's good. I like when artists take risk, and because beggars can't be choosers, right? So I said that I don't want to, Pegasus to come forward with the same, like, girl, can we hear something new? Like, what have you been working on the news? Because that's the cool thing to me about being an artist is that you get to change your sound. You get to sound one way, and then you get to come out again and sound a whole nother way, especially if that way didn't work for you. And then if it did work for you, you can just, do it better, right? So that excites me, with artists. But when it's just repetitive, the same old thing, it kind of gets boring, after a while. So with this, Megan coming forward with this song, I think this is a good look for her, just because it is different. It's a different sound. It appeals to different type of ears. So to a rap ear, somebody that likes to hear, a certain type of rap, it may not appeal to your ear, but to somebody else, that likes, a certain type of music from rap artists, they may love it, So, yeah. So shout out to Megan, because I do think that, like I said, I want her to change it up. She changed it up, So I can't be like, oh, you changed it up, but it still suck. To me, that's being a hater. Like, I'm not gonna be a hater. I'm going to be unbiased, and I'm going to be like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you, Megan, for changing it up. You did that. So I think it's a good look. I do. I think it's good. It shows a little bit of versatility. It also shows her in a different light, because, she's just, known as the twerk girl. So songs like this, she gets to appeal and dance in other ways. Because to me, Megan can dance. I don't think Megan is a bad dancer. I think Megan is a good dancer. So, yeah, it gets to showcase other things. I think good job. Good. I would have to say to Megan, good job. Good job. I think she did a good job, because it's different. It is different, but current, at the same time. So I do like that. And I like that she put the because I feel like she's Megan, you be watching, girl. So Megan sis. Nay. So yeah, but I'm not gonna be biased. I ain't no hater. But I crush a lot. But shout out to Megan, it's different. So y'all check out the song. Ha. So yeah, check her out. Check the song out. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But yeah, shout out to Megan. I think it's a good look. I do. I think it is a good look. We wanted something different. She's showing something different. Nola said, watch album on YouTube. Cool anime. You talking about Pegasus? Marsha says, I love it. Okay, you heard the album, girl? Go on, girl. She says she love it. All right, go on, hide it. Didn't hear Waxing yet. Oh, Lord. B. Nice. Lauren said Megan is a really good dancer. I think so too. I think Megan can dance. I do. So I love that she got to, showcase different dances instead of just twerking all the time. Because I think that's what she's kind of known for. Yes, no. Mm-hmm. But Pegasus been making her rounds, so let's get into her making her rounds. Explaining Traumazine album, all of that. Let's get into it.
Traumazine represent for you?
Well, to me, Traumazine basically means like facing yourself, like what you go through when you finally decide to accept what you've been through and come out on the other end as the person that you see yourself becoming or that you want to be. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I had to make up a new word for this new experience that I'm going through.
Yo, when I looked at your page and I saw the definition, I had to go into like Webster and see if it was
there.
they're
gonna put it in there now. I believe that they're gonna have to put that in there. I feel like everybody that has been through something, like they can kind of see it on other people that have been through something. And I feel like we kind of got this like language where okay, I understand you might be having a bad day. It might not have nothing to do with me, so let me treat you with a little bit more courtesy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I could tell when somebody is like a tough person, and you know probably why they might be a little tough. I don't know everybody's story, but like,
Right.
I just feel like I want to treat people how I would want everybody to treat me. You know what I'm saying?
What does traumazine represent for you?
Well, to me, traumazine basically means like facing yourself, like what you go through when you finally decide to accept what you've been through and come out on the other end as the person that you see yourself becoming or that you want to be. So I feel like I had to make up a new word for this new experience that I'm going through.
Well, you need to stop acting like you ain't been making stuff up since you came out. I mean, your name is Megan Thee Stallion. Stallion is a male horse. So once again, I mean, did you redo the name Stallion as well? It doesn't mean male horse anymore because I'm a female. Okay, girl. Hair flip. And then on top of that, Megan, the Pegasus girl, traumazine is an ugly word. I don't like it. Yeah, just how like fetch wasn't gonna happen. Neither is traumazine. I'm never gonna use that word. Gross. So yeah, like you're not gonna make fetch happen. I feel like I had to make up a word. You definitely did. You definitely did. You definitely did. That's one of them new horse tranquilizers. Grim. That's one of them new horse tranquilizers, them traumazines by Megasis. So yes, girl. So Pegasus sat over here trying to act like she's nice. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know, no, you're not. No, you're not. You made Kelsey do busting back. You made Kelsey do busting back. Okay. Now, last we checked, you said toward car seat lanes, pop-piled you in the hoof. Why have you been so mean to Kelsey when you tried to take her man in the first place, Megasis? She wouldn't have wore you out and threw you in them bushes on the side of that SU of the V. Girl. She wouldn't have threw you in them bushes if you weren't sleeping with Tori Carsey Lane. Now, since you sitting over there, nay, you sitting over there doing all of that. Now you done got everybody animal cruelty charges. Peter came in the helicopter and TMZ, all of this stuff, girl. Now, they facing felony counts, animal cruelty in the first degree, and all of this. It was an unregistered horse tranquilizer in the car called traumazine. Girl, Megasis, why for come did my girl Kelsey have to make busting back? You're mean, okay? You're a mean girl, okay? You're a mean girl. You absolutely are. So you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You have to do that. You didn't have to do that because she didn't allegedly pop you. Okay? That was supposed to be Tori Carsey Lane. Yay high. Waffle come. You made that girl have to do that song because you kept talking about her Megasis. So stop acting like you want people to be. You're trying. Now all of a sudden you was a nice horse. Now all of a sudden, they change you. Now you act like you housebroken and all of that. You will come sit down over here, act like you got manners, like you only pee and stuff outside. But then you be all in the comments calling people all out their names and all of that stuff. Girl, you very so much do. You are very mean to people and comments and stuff like that. Girl, now you done had 11 different stories about what happened to you that night. Okay, we're over it. All right, girl, if it happened, you'll get justice. If it don't, oh well. You know, it is what it is. Because you went on this campaign talking about some protect black women, and then you said never mind. You said never mind because you had everybody's attention. So since you had everybody's attention, you was like, well, I ain't got to keep doing this. Now I could just go back to twerking, you know, and all of that stuff. Like I could go back to doing all of that because some of them started to believe me because that's all she cared about. She just cares too much about what people think, you know. So she had her way. Everybody would be nice to me. What, you ain't nice to people? You ain't nice to people? Why you ain't gonna sit over there with Nikki at Harper's Bazaar? You're mean. Stop acting like you're not a mean girl. You absolutely are. So yeah, she tried it. So Megasis is out here wanting sympathy and payola. Once again, she is upset because most of y'all still don't believe her. She's upset because still only 30% of the country believe what she had to say. Okay, she needed to get to a good 60%, and then she'll mess around and leave it alone. Okay, because she don't want on everybody available to talk about what happened, although she could put Tory in jail every time he opened up his mouth. He came out with that album. She hurried up and got it ripped off the show because he told the truth through the whole album. Oh my goodness. He told the truth through the whole album and you was on that motherfucker. Remember? Yeah, you were very so much on that album, drunk, Megasis. You absolutely were. And it was the night of everything that had went down, girl. And you was on there drunk, screaming and hollering at Tory car seat lanes at Yay High, girl. And you was like, motherfucker. Girl, you're mad. You're big mad. And you're doing that at Kylie's house. Gross. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the property value. So, yeah, you tried it. So, yeah, whenever you get done, Megasis, you were on that album talking about some motherfucker. I was like, ooh, Tory, ooh, what you do? Oh my goodness. So yeah, hair flip. So you hurry up and got that album taken off the shelves and all of that good stuff, girl, because that little boy was sitting over there telling the truth, Tory or Carsey Lanes. So Megasis, Megan Lanes, yes, is sitting over here upset and trying to act like she liked people. Like, girl, you are evil. Megasis, girl, you are not a nice person. Like, so all of a sudden, she's nice. So when this happened was just evil on Wednesday. So Megasis also came forward and told y'all this. She said, y'all dropping that bag. Megan the Pegasus says she paid Future $250K for his verse on her song, Pressurelicious. Okay, that's one of the singles that came out already that done flopped. All right. Let's get into it.
Reaching out to a man trying to get a feature is always gonna be a task. Like, you know, like you never know what to expect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how it's about to go. So how I went about it was, okay, somebody figure out what's Future feature price. Like, let's just ask him what's.
Thank you, Jims and Jam.
And they was like, okay, 250. He won 250K. I was like, okay, bet. Somebody go pull $250,000
out the account real quick.
Yeah, somebody go pull $250,000 out the bank and go drop it off to Future and tell him I need the verse before he leave. Because I feel like we was both in Miami, and I told my manager, I was like, "There's."
But Pressurelicious is the one I want to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So you and Future, how does this song come about?
Okay, so it's a really crazy story. So I had the beat for Pressurelicious, right? And I recorded the song and I recorded it one way. And I'm like, you know what? This will really sound hard if Future was on it. So I feel like being a woman in the industry, reaching out to a man trying to get a feature is always going to be a task. Like, you know, like you never know what to expect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how it's about to go. So how I went about it was, okay, somebody figure out what's Future feature price. Like, let's just ask him what's his feature price.
Okay.
And they was like, okay, 250. He won 250K. I was like, okay, bet. Somebody go pull $250,000
out the account real quick.
Yeah, somebody go pull $250,000 out the bank and go drop it off to Future and tell him I need the verse before he leave. Because I feel like we was both in Miami, and I told my manager, I was like, "There's."
But Pressurelicious is the one I want to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So you and Future.
So the song Pressurelicious did not do well. It didn't do well at all. That's why I said this single that she just dropped to her, I think she should have dropped that before she dropped anything. I think that should have been her first lead single, and then that would have gave her momentum. Because whether this song is a bop or flop, I still think that it's going to get a lot of attention because it's different. So that is going to make it stand out. So I do think that Megan should have dropped her song first, and then maybe came with the Pressurelicious song. Once there was momentum already back in her, like her album's out, people know her album's gonna be out. I don't understand this whole surprise drop. Pegasus, who do you think you are? The only people that can do surprise drops is like Beyonce, yeah, Adele, Nicki Minaj, Cardi, Usher. You know, people like that can do surprise drops where they don't have to tell their fans they're coming out with something. They can just drop. You know, like Beyonce did with Lemonade. That was huge. It was huge, and we had, most of us really had no clue. We were guessing, and Beyonce was dropping little hints with lemons and bees and all that stuff, but we had no idea. A surprise drop and it just be massively supported. No, you need promotion. you need a head start, Pegasus girl. You need a head start, training wheels, if you will. Okay, right. Taylor Swift, yeah, even Rihanna, yes. Rihanna, yes. Love her, yes. Rihanna can do Ariana, yes. Mariah Carey, she can do a surprise drop. She absolutely can. Sade, Big Dot, she can do a surprise drop. Doja can even do a surprise drop. I'll give Doja that, yes. Doja can do a surprise drop. Drake, very so much. Lil Wayne, people like that, yes. They can do surprise drops. Megan. When the fans are hungry for you, you can do a surprise drop. You absolutely can. So like Beyonce fans be hungry for her projects because the years be so long in between times of her dropping albums. Sometimes we'll get maybe the lowest, maybe a 3-4 year. But like other than that, we're not getting like every 2 years an album or something. No. No. This is on Beyonce's 7th album. She's been in the game over 20 years. So she's only 7 albums deep, but if you count just her, not Destiny's Child, just her, she's 7 albums deep. She could be 15, 16, if she wanted to be. But yeah, so I just don't think that a person like you doing a surprise drop is smart. I think that that's stupid. I mean, you need to give it as much promotion as possible, if you want it to be successful. I think you have been doing surprise drops, Megan, because you don't care. You don't get me wrong. To a certain extent, you care about the album, but you don't because of the people affiliated, like Carl. When like you care, but you don't. Like after this album, because after this album, her and Carl are done. Benito. It's pretty much a wrap after this album. So I think Megan is really gonna, explode. Try to at least, really come out with some of her best work because she's free, from certain entities. But be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Because Megan, you can think running from Carl is the solution, and you can run into somebody 10 times worse than him. Okay. Because the monsters at these bigger labels, good luck. Good luck, sweetie. I don't know why you feel like as soon as I get away from Carl, my life is going to be perfect. I really don't feel that way. I really don't. I don't feel that way. I just think that you're going to just derail with another person that's going to try to take worse advantage of you. That honestly, that is going to try to do you 10 times dirtier than Carl. Because at least you and Carl has some type of relationship coming into it. These people are complete, total, utter strangers. These new people that you're coming into contact with, who you're trying to sign with, they're strangers. So they're even more sharkish than Carl. Like literally, you are about to be dropped into the shark tank. And okay, we'll see how long you live, girl. We'll see. Good luck, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. So moving right along from Pegasus. Wasting $250K on this song with Future, because yeah, I mean, Didn't get much traction or anything like that. So that was a waste of $250,000. So let me make sure that we are here because we are going to break this down. Okay, we are. So now, if you didn't know, this story has went viral of a woman that lied about her pregnancy after losing the child, says she didn't tell the man because she wanted to spare his feelings. She says, I was crushed and I still didn't want to crush him. All right. So if you don't know, we're going to get into this. This young lady lied. She lied and stated that but is this the first one? I feel like there's one before it. Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, this is the first one. So man devastated after finding out the woman he created life with had been lying to him for 41 weeks and lost their baby. He was taken to a room and escorted by hospital security where the news was broke to him. All right. So Big Kia, the boss, is the man in the photograph. And he says, today, August 10th, my uncle no, this is a girl. My fault. I'm sorry. The niece of this man in the photograph states, today, August 10th, my uncle world was literally crushed today. Our family has experienced something we never thought we would. July 29th, my uncle daughter was due to the woman he created life with, has lied to him and our entire family for 41 weeks. Okay. So let's get into it. They did not have the best relationship during these 41 weeks. He missed out on a couple months due to the behavior she had. She has showed up to our home multiple times, causing issues, which led our family to miss a few months by cutting her off until the baby was supposed to be born. During the months we did not see her, she sent my mom sonograms and communicated with her, which is my uncle, big sister. In June, him and her were able to put their issues aside and move forward for the sake of the baby. July 10th, our family hosted a baby shower. We bought a lot of gifts and all of the decorations. Thank God I have an event center, or we would have paid for that as well. For the past few weeks, she had my uncle taking her back and forth to the doctor. He never went in the back because she said COVID guidelines at Howard Hospital were still in effect. When he couldn't make it due to work or other family members took her. Wow. When her due date passed at one of the appointments, okay, I'm going to repeat that. Due date passed at one of the final appointments. She said the baby was breached and that they were scheduling a C-section. Well, the day they showed up to the hospital, they got to Holy Cross. They told her they messed up in the registration for her and she was at the wrong hospital. They then went to Inova, is that how you say that? Hospital in VA, and apparently they knew she wasn't pregnant and just sent them back to Howard because they didn't know how to tell him the truth. Wow. 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 So to sum it all up, okay, she told him that she was pregnant, which a part of the story that's being left out is because I don't believe she wrote it in there. The woman was pregnant initially, okay? So this woman in the photograph was initially pregnant. She was when things first started. But she ended up losing the child. So she miscarried. So when she miscarried, she said that she couldn't take telling him that she miscarried. So she led on that she was still pregnant, and whatnot. So basically, this whole time, this man was picking her up, taking her to appointments, and there was no baby, So, but she was lying to him, telling him that due to COVID guidelines, that only she could go in the back, that he cannot come back there with her. So, because he would have found out, that she was obviously, she's not pregnant. But while that was going on, other family members were also taking her to doctor's appointments and whatnot. They threw her a baby shower. So when it comes to the time for her to have the baby, the original hospital that she was at, they sent them to another hospital. And they sent them to another hospital because they didn't know how to tell him, that the original hospital they went to, Inova, whatever, didn't know how to tell him that she was pregnant. They didn't know how to tell him. So they sent him back to the original hospital, the people that had them in the first place. So they was like, you tell him. Y'all tell him that she ain't pregnant. Okay? So, with that being said, the hospital staff, security, took him and sat him down in a room and told him that it was all a hoax, that she had been lying and she was not pregnant. Okay? So this is the young man, well, the man's niece coming forward telling the story. Like, you know, they've been dealing with each other. They had a lot of ups and downs, you know, they were together, then they weren't, you know, and stuff like that, you know, throughout the relationship. And she was taking him through a lot. And she actually was taking him through a lot. So let's get into what she was actually taking him through. So I want to start off by saying rest in peace to the poor baby that they lost. I feel really bad for both of them. And I feel sorry for her as well. Like, that's horrible, you know, losing a child and whatnot. But I still don't feel like it excuses bad behavior. There's been other people that I know on YouTube that try to use situations like miscarrying and think that they can go around doing a whole bunch of evil stuff and be a funky Christian while doing so, and feel like it's okay that, you know, I've taken people through these things because no, you don't get to blame it on that. And I feel that that's a selfish thing to do, to blame it on that. I get that she's hurting. The miscarrying can be traumatic. I don't know. I'm not a woman, you know, but I can only imagine that it can be very traumatic, a very hard loss, you know, and whatnot. So I get people do things but I don't feel like you should blame it on it, you know, just be like, I would rather a person say I was in a dark place, you know, instead of just being like, oh, well, it's because I miscarried. No, you don't get to blame you doing horrible things to people and whatnot because you lost a child. That is no excuse. There's plenty of people that lose children and they don't get to act like that in response. They don't get to go do crazy stuff and evil things to people because they're hurting inside. And it's okay because they lost. No, it's not okay. Deal with it instead of like deflect, you know, from it. Like, that's crazy to me. But let's get into her response because she has a story as well. So let's get into what she had to say. So here we are. We just read this. No, we just read this. Did we? No, we didn't. Okay. So a woman that lied about her pregnancy after losing the child says she didn't tell the man because she wanted to spare his feelings. She says, I was crushed and still didn't want to crush him. So she's about to break down and it's a lot. So I'm going to read everything because I feel like both sides deserve to be told. So we just heard the young lady's side, the niece's side about what she feels transpired throughout this situation. So now we're going to hear what the young lady herself, who had the miscarriage, has to say for herself. So here, this quote says, could I have just been honest? Yes. Did I go too MF and far? Yes. Was it wrong? Yes. But don't make it seem like this man was so kind and I just did him brutal because I'm evil. Never the case. So let's get into what she has to say. Get something to drink. Alrighty. Part 1. Me and Danny started dating last year in January, and yes, that was my dog from that day forward. It was nobody could tell me. I didn't know his family during this time. We never had issues bad enough to want to part ways. We had our little moments, but we was good for months and months up until I experienced, what is that? Ectopic? ectopic pregnancy. Sorry. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a medical term. I went into major depression for 2 months. He was going through it mentally, trying to hide it from his family. All this going on. We broke up, but kept in contact. I still was not in contact with his family at this time. Okay. Now she says part 2 coming. Part 2. With us being split apart, so she said that they were broken up. Okay. We still wanted to be there mentally for each other after the situation, which indeed carried on to us having X a couple times because the feelings wasn't gone and we were still locked in. Boom, November comes, I get pregnant. I met his family in the following month, but let me tell y'all how and why. Okay. Part 3. When I found out I was pregnant, it was war. It was get an abortion. You trying to trap me, all this when we talked about having kids together every other MFing day, and he asked me for this, so I was beyond baffled at the way he reacted. So just because you talk about having kids with somebody, like, what it's giving is that you're obsessed with him. Like, that's what it's giving, that you had a really unhealthy you have really unhealthy relationships with people, mama, because that doesn't make sense. Like, who cares if he said that he wants to have kids? Somebody telling you something and going through something are completely different things. Everybody want a kid, especially during sex sessions, and whatnot. Put a baby in me. I want to have your child. All of that's going down. But when it's I'm having your child, the conversation changes. Things get a little, So it sounds like to me like you really wanted to be pregnant by him is what is given. Like right now, like you're very obsessive when it comes to this human being. Like you have really low self-esteem, because only people with really low self-esteem feel this type of way about people, like property. It's like you feel like you like owned him. Like this is really unhealthy. But let's get back into it. So she says, all this when we talked about having kids together every other MFing day, and he asked me for this. So I was beyond baffled at the way he reacted. He has recently apologized for that, so this ain't bashing him again. It's the story. So I'm so mad at the way he responded. I don't even want the baby either, because why you tripping on me when you asked for this? Come to find out, he was already effing with somebody he worked with. So now it's he trying to be with her, so he don't want our baby. But I was still with the abortion. But as the day came close, I froze up and didn't get it. Okay. So she was saying that she agreed that, we just gonna go ahead and get, just end this, and whatnot. It sounds like to me like she was really jealous because, like she said, it come to find out he was already effing with somebody at work and whatnot. Well, y'all weren't together. So what does that matter? What does that matter? You guys weren't together. Yes, and he knew about it, too, from what I'm gathering, because she said that they still wanted to be there mentally for each other. So he knew about, the miscarriage. So it's not that he didn't know. He did. She came to lie about basically a new pregnancy, if you will. And so but yeah, let's get into what is this, 4? Part 4? Yes. So she says, after I froze up, we just said, F it, accepted, we having a baby, and went to the first appointment together. We were still broken up. Okay. So when I said before earlier down here, when she was like, he was already effing with somebody else anyway. Yeah, you sound mad jealous because you're not with him. So why does it matter who he's talking to? Like, it shouldn't matter. You sound really obsessed. But she said, we accepted it, having a baby. We went to the first appointment together. We were still broken up and never got back together. Just accepted we were having a kid. So platonic relationship between two parents that are now about to raise a child is what she's saying. although she admitted that they were already still effing around with each other. But whatever. January 31st, I was so mad at this man, I started thinking about all of the stuff he said to me out of anger, and that made me mad because we was better than that. But you let somebody else change how you F with me. So I went up to his house at 3 a.m. with a hammer and a screwdriver. Part 5 coming. So she's basically stating here that this new girl that, you know, I'm assuming that he was messing with at work changed how he feels about her. Girl, you're obsessive. You don't like this new girl because the new girl ain't you. So you're just finding reasons to not like her. So you come into his house at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm assuming because of this female, because he's moving on with his life. You don't like that. You don't like that he's moving on. Really unhealthy. Really unhealthy. Really low, like your self-esteem is low. Like really low. You gotta, girl, you gotta, you know, stop feeling like you get one dude and that's it. Like I don't deserve anybody else. I can't get anybody else, so I have to. Like, yeah. Then you're going at 3 o'clock in the morning, going over there with screwdrivers and hammers, and for what? For what? Like, why? 3 o'clock in the morning. All right. Part 5. Let's get into part 5. She says, I showed up, made a couple threats to his car. He knew I wouldn't do it. How did he know you wouldn't do it? But okay, girl, go off. But I know he don't play about his car. So, you know, in relationships, pushing buttons, you know what's going to make a person mad. So she knows that his car is a trigger. So she's using his car, I'm assuming. So she's saying that she was bringing the hammer and the screwdriver over there to mess up his car, threatening to mess up his car. So she says, all females do a little petty-ish to a dude they love when they hurt. Completely normal. Is that normal? I mean, it happens, but is that normal? I'm gonna ask y'all in the chat. Is it normal for you not to be in a relationship with somebody and they moving on with their life, but you still have feelings for them? So you feel like they messing with somebody else, you get to go to their house at 3 o'clock in the morning and threaten their car and stuff. That's normal. It's normal to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go over to somebody's house that you're not with, but threatening their car and stuff, like, that's fine. Like, this happens. Like, girl, no, it don't. Very unhealthy. Very unhealthy, especially somebody you're not with. That's what make you look goofy. That's what make you look dumb. Like, I see if he's like literally your boyfriend, you know, and whatnot, then it's just like, okay, I guess that would be, you know, but just some chick you not going with no more, some chick that just don't want to let it go. Because that's what it is. You said yourself that y'all not together. So he's not entitled. The baby's not, this baby, you know, is not born yet or anything. So he don't have to be around you. He don't have to do any of those things. You know, if it ain't about the baby, you know, like, so that's really creepy. You know, the things that you're doing and saying, like your self-esteem, again, is very low, very low. Yes, very stalkerish, very stalkerish, very, very. Okay, so I have to work at 7. No. Victory says it's not okay, but it's a reality. Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. It happens, but we should look at that as normal. Like police brutality, you know, and things in that nature. It happens, but it's not normal. Like, I'm never gonna normalize something like that to be like, it's normal for a black man to be ... when a cop pulls him over, or if a cop ... That's not normal. I'm not normalizing that. Has it happened? Yes. Is it normal? No. No different than what be going on in these schools. Does it happen? Yes. Is it normal? No. It's not normal. It's not something that we should be, because the more the things that we make when we normalize things like this, it knocks down the potency of it. You know, so it's not as potent as it should be, you know, just because we are so desensitized to things, to where it becomes, we make it a normal because we hear it so often. So something before that we would hear, and we'd be like, oh, now we hear, we just be like, oh, that's something that you're desensitized, because that it should still be a big deal. It doesn't matter how many times it happens and what area, it doesn't matter. It should still be a big deal. You know, so, but yeah, I just think that she's She said, screws loose. Screws loose. Yes, very so much. So she says, all females do love petty stuff like that when they love when they hurt. Okay, completely normal is what she says. She says he attempted to snatch me off the porch while pregnant. Y'all listen to that. While pregnant, okay? She says he attempted to snatch me off the porch while pregnant. And Kia was attempting to pull him off me, which is the niece that came forward before and spoke and said everything that was going on with her uncle, because she was called Big Kia. So she's talking about her. So she was around for a lot of this stuff. That's why she spoke. So she says he attempted to snatch me off the porch while pregnant, and Kia was attempting to pull him off of me, and we fell onto the ground, and they took the hammer. Laughing emojis. I'm still mad about that because that hammer been with me since I was a kid. That was my heart. Part 6 coming. Doesn't sound like she's taking this too serious if you ask me, but okay. Part 6. That same morning, instead of everybody trying to talk to me or understand me, I'm hurting bad. I love this man. We planned a certain type of life, and you so focused on other things. It was F me. But instead of someone trying to sit down and actually understand, he just went and got a peace order on me. I would have did the same thing. His sissy always kept in contact, and so did Kia from time to time. I will not take that away from them. So she said that the family did keep in contact with her, that they did speak, Kia especially. Part 7. Here is where I become the effed up one. 2 weeks later, the baby was gone. That on top of everything else. Okay, so she says 2 weeks later, my baby was gone. That on top of everything else we was going through already. I was crushed. Still didn't want to crush him. I didn't even want to accept the ish myself. Wasn't about to keep him because he wasn't together. Wasn't about being included with his family because we're not close at the time. It was about the fact we went through this before and nothing good came from it. And I didn't want to deal with the rough end of it like I wanted to tell him. But WTF, this literally happened to us twice. And why? What we do to deserve that. Okay. So she states that with the second pregnancy, that she lost this child too, which can happen. I mean, I'm not going to say she's lying, but this is where, like she said, she becomes the effed up person, because instead of telling him, because she told him about the first miscarriage, but she did not tell him about the second one, this one. So while all of this is going on, she's saying that she's pregnant. Okay? While all this is happening, while he was trying to get her off of his porch and, all of that, she says that she was pregnant, while all of this went down, right? So then she said 2 weeks later, she lost the child. All right. She didn't want to tell him because they've been through all of this before and she knew the end outcome. So she didn't want to tell him. So at this point in time, I'm thinking, was she pregnant at all the second time around? Was she at all? Is how I'm feeling. Like, were you at all? I mean, if you lied about all of this stuff, because she didn't tell nobody about the miscarriage, the second one. Remember, she was pretending to be pregnant. She kept, that's what we're about to get into. She kept pretending to be pregnant. So it's like, were you? It's like, were you at all? Like, that's how I'm feeling. Like, were you at all? Or did you already know that if that was the only way? Because It was over between them, right? But the only way for her, like I said, she's given obsessed. The only way to keep him around, what kept him around, I should say, is that she was pregnant. And his feelings changed and whatnot towards her. So that was a way for her to keep him around, right? And then she lost the baby. After she lost the baby, he started seeing somebody else. He was already he was seeing somebody else. So he didn't want to be with her anyway. So to keep him around, say you're pregnant. That's what I'm getting. It's like, were you pregnant? Or did you just say that because you knew that'll keep him around? I don't know. I'm very confused by that. But let's get into part 7. Y'all let me know in the chat. Do y'all think she was pregnant the second time? Do you think there was a second pregnancy at all? Let me know what you think in the chat. So she says, do you think they would have stuck around if you told them? She said, at the time, no, I didn't feel they would have supported us or helped me get through it because I didn't know them like that. But after knowing them recently, I could have confided in them. If I knew them well, then I would have turned to one of them. So even more reason for, like I said, were you at all? Were you at all? Very confusing. Very confusing. So she says, could I have just been honest? Yes. Did I go too MF and far? Yes. Was it wrong? Yes. But don't make it seem like this man was so kind and I just did him brutal because I'm evil. Never the case. Okay. So after that is when the story comes to them going to because she never stated to him nor the family that she wasn't pregnant. So the family still thought that she was pregnant, and they were taking her to doctor's appointments and whatnot, taking her to the hospital and or clinic, wherever their doctor's appointments were. And so was he. He was taking her too. It's time for her to have the child, like we were discussing earlier. It's time for her to have the child. They go to 2 different hospitals, just to go back to the same hospital for them to tell him that she was never pregnant, that there is no pregnancy. There isn't anything. So the family threw this girl a baby shower, all of this stuff. So you're literally sitting here looking these people in the face. I don't feel that it was a trauma from her being pregnant, like her losing the child. I don't. I think that she was being vindictive. I think that she wanted him by any means necessary. I think she would still be trying to deal with him if he didn't go basically get a protective order on her. I think she would still be trying to be around him. If he called her right now, she'll go right over there. But he wants no dealings with her. No dealings. She made everything about her. Well, if somebody would have sat me down and talked to me, who needs to sit down and talk to you and figure out if you're lying about a pregnancy or not? Why would somebody think that? And then she keeps bringing up her feelings that she has for them. I'm not saying that feelings aren't valid, but if they are not mutual, you have to move on with your life. So you're sitting here whole in love and whole in a one-sided relationship with this man. And it is not like he lying to her. He using her and manipulating her. He ain't doing none of that. He living his life. He done moved on, all of that. So he ain't got to be with her. Like baby or no baby. He don't have to be with her. So it's not like he's just this horrible, malicious person. No, he just didn't feel how you did. People's minds change. Y'all could be sitting there on Wednesday talking about something, and by Thursday, it completely change your mind. Completely change your mind. You absolutely can. It's that simple. So you having conversations with him and, oh, he told me this and he told me that. He lied to me. So let's not make it seem like he was a kind person. Girl, you came to his house at 3 o'clock in the morning, pulling up on him with hammers and stuff, threatening his car. He got to get a protective order on you. This whole time you done lied to this man and told him that you were pregnant, knowing you weren't. His family taking you back and forth to the hospital. Him taking you back and forth to the hospital. Throwing you a baby shower. All of that. Like, are you serious? Like, what did he do to you to deserve all of that besides not want to be with you? I get it, you're hurt, but you don't get to do stuff like that and don't think that it ain't gonna come back to bite you. Now she got people looking at her as a victim. You're not a victim in this situation. You lost the child. I get it. That is hard. I get it. I get it, young lady. Imagine having a stillborn. Imagine that. literally going through a pregnancy and your child not being awoke when it comes, no cry, no nothing. Imagine that. Like, that's crazy to even try to blame something on, like, you don't get to blame bad behavior because you've had loss in your life. You don't get to do that. Who is this? Oh, this must be an accident because I have no idea who that is. But yeah, you don't get to blame things on traumatic situations. Like, you don't get to go out and R-word people. A man doesn't get to go out and R-word people because somebody lied to him about something, because somebody hurt him as a child, because somebody did things physically or whatever. It doesn't excuse you going out hurting other people. That's not an excuse. I get that hurt people, but it's not an excuse. It just means that this was a hurt person that was out here hurting people. We see where he got it from, but we don't know why he still did it. Because just like somebody do something to you that you should never want to do to other people, you also, once again, shouldn't want to do it to other people because you know firsthand how it is. You know firsthand how it feels. So there should be no reason in the world that you will want to put that type of energy or trauma onto someone, knowing what you're going through because of what somebody did to you. Why would you want to place that onto somebody else? Like, they're not going to go through the same things or worse. So that's crazy. So it's like, we don't get to blame it on that. Like, I don't care what somebody went through. If you hurt somebody that I love, especially, I want you up under the jail. Like, up under the jail. I don't care what you went through as a kid. I don't care what you went through. Yes, I don't care about none of that. None of that matters because none of that impacted this decision. You made it. It was a decision. It is what it is. Oh, well. So it's the same thing with her. You made a decision to say and do what you did. So you don't get to blame it on losing a child. Like, that's even a horrible thing to even say. That, oh, I did this because. No. No. Just say you were in a dark place. Just say you were going through a hard time. Life was changing too quick for you, so you couldn't keep up, or something like that. But to literally blame it on something as tragic as losing a kid, like, no, I just don't feel like that's cool. It doesn't excuse that behavior. Oh, well, she's excused, guys. There's no reason for him to be mad at her because she lost a child. Okay. No, he has every right to be upset with her. He has every right to be angry with her. He absolutely does. He does. So, and anybody that thinks differently, hey, you're entitled to your opinion, but no, what she did was evil. A very evil thing is what she did. So, yeah, move right along. I might do a video on this to break this down further. But yeah, this was a lot. This was heavy. I was like, this is insane. Insane. So Safari. So Erica Mena accuses Safari of releasing his own tape amid threatening to take legal action against whoever did it. Erica says pay bills on this parenting app. So Erica Mena says, can one of y'all ask this fool to pay these bills that's been pending for months on this parenting app before he starts fake suing himself and his paid S partner? Shaking my head. Safari says right here, I'm taking full legal action against criminal action. The person who did that is going to pay. I'm not letting up either. Not letting this one slide. This is cybercrime and I'm pressing full charges. Now, if you don't know, now you know that Safari tape is out there with this girl. And I have absolutely seen it. And one thing that I have to say, Safari, it is not Safariing. Safari, them pictures, that toy you made, this wasn't what it was given. Safari. No. You were supposed to have a jungle monster. What I'm like, what is this? Oh, what is this? I'm like, this is not giving Safari Monroe. This is not giving Safari Monroe, honey. So I'm like, am I watching the wrong tape? I'm like, I expected a mouthful. Like, you got a prior. I was expecting that. I was like, Safari, it's not adding up. That mold you made there, buddy. I don't know. I was like, That's why I like to see the product before I buy it. Cause Safari is not Safariing. Like it's not Safari. No, it was long. You know, but it wasn't like the pictures and stuff that I've seen. Because I used to look at Erica Mena like, you poor girl. Girl, you poor girl. Is it just like, is it just because, girl, hold on, work with my own stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. You know? Go on, girl. But, I see why you want to sue Safari. I see why you're upset, and I believe Safari. I don't think that Safari leaked this because it was not becoming. I was expecting this. You know. I was expecting, zip. I was expecting a slab of meat. I said, what's this? I said, no, this ain't it. This wrong. This Beanie Man. I'm like, this ain't Safari. I said, no. I said, I said, no, it's close because, but I'm like, no, this ain't him. This ain't Safari. And then when the camera went up, I said, oh, Safari. I said, Safari, girl. I said, yeah, you got me thinking Nicki Minaj and or Erica Mena is beast, because, they. But I'm like, oh yeah, that ain't that big a deal. That it's kind of borderline a little jealous, of you there, player. But I'm not jealous of you anymore. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not jealous. I'm good. I was like, yeah, I was looking at mine today. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm not jealous. I never be jealous about. So but yeah. And so I was disappointed. I absolutely was. I was disappointed. I absolutely was. I was. And now there was a lot of cottage cheese going on. Now, I don't know if your girl needed to, I don't know if she needed to, but that was creamy. I'll say that. It's very creamy. I was just like, So it was interesting. I was like, I wonder what that smells like. I'm like, I wonder what it smells like. Like, you should just wipe it in. Like, because I would smell it. As long as it doesn't stink, then I would have kept going. But I don't know. I'm like, that's a lot. And it don't sound like macaroni and cheese. It didn't sound like macaroni and cheese. So, what I'm saying is that it was, girl, EJ, it was a lot. So Safari's dark, right? Okay. During certain scenes inside of it, his dark meat is white. But just up to a certain point. So like the last 2-3 inches of it, black. Everything else, white. So I was just curious. I was just like, interesting. Interesting. So, but yeah. So, you guys should definitely go check out the tape if y'all can. I saw it on Twitter. I'm just keeping weird. Shout out to Twitter. So yeah. So shout out to Safari. I guess all I know is that the peen wasn't peening. Like It was not safarying. That's all I'm gonna say. I thought it was gonna be like a grapefruit, but like a papaya or something, you know, like a literal eggplant is what I was expecting. An uncircumcised eggplant, right? So yeah, I just was like, okay, well, I guess. But yeah, moving right along. So yeah, shout out to Erica Mena for never minding her business. Like, girl. So I know you guys probably saw this video about this flight is it flight attendant? Oh, airport employee, whatever. Attempts to fight woman inside of Dallas airport after she slapped him because and called him a racial and homophobic slur. So let's get into it.
Ever in your life, you touch me first and then you got in my face. Don't ever invade my personal space. Out of my face! No, I'm not. I'm here. Here. I'm here. Again. Touching me again.
It's all on camera.
It's surely, but you in my personal space. You're in my personal space. You're in my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. She's touching me. She's touching me. And I'm telling you, don't put, she can't put her hands on me. Don't you ever put your hands on me. No.
Watch out, man. You ain't gonna fight that woman, bro. You're not gonna fight that woman.
You got the wrong person.
Don't fight that woman, bro.
You got the wrong person. You just put my hands on
that.
Hey, relax. Relax.
I fight whoever. I fight whoever.
Take a deep breath.
Put your hands on me.
Oh Lord. So I find it mighty weird that she called him racial slurs and all of that. And oh boys, talk about some just like, did you not hear her? You're not black today? Are you trying to smash or are you more concerned about our race? Like, which one are you more concerned about? Like, weird. But I will say this. I do feel like he was wrong. I do. And the reason I feel like he was wrong is because, one, she already hooping and hollering. All he had to do was walk away. It's like he was challenging her. I feel like he wanted to challenge her. I do. And I think not all gay men, but I do think some gay men step outside of themselves and feel like, you know, when it comes to certain situations with women, they can take it as another woman would take it. And it's like, we're not women. Like, we are still men. So, and we have to remember that. So even if a woman does put their hands on us, it does not literally give us the right to knock them out. You know, I like it. It doesn't. We shouldn't be chasing him. Like, he just looked like a fool. If you ask me, you know, she was definitely, I need my charger. She was definitely wrong for what she did. I'm not defending her in any way, shape, or form. But at the same time, I just felt like he could have walked away many times. He could have walked away. He chose not to. I feel like he wanted to combat her. I do. Like, he wanted, this still a woman. Like, at the end of the day, like, why do you feel the need to go toe to toe? But yeah, so let's listen to it one more time and then we'll, yeah.
You're in my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. She's touching me. She's touching me. Don't put my hands on me. My hands on me.
Don't you ever put your hands on me. So yeah, like I said, I feel that she was wrong. She shouldn't have said none of those things she said to him. It shouldn't have got that far. But he should have got somebody to take care of that. He could have called security, you know, whatnot, like, get her out of here. She gotta go. He could have did all type of stuff. Like, why risk your job and all of that to fight a woman? Like, words are words. People are going to say things to get under your skin. She called you all of the things that she felt that will upset you. She came at your race. She came at your sexuality. She's pushing buttons, and it seems to me like she was intoxicated. But no excuse. But even more reason for me not to deal with you. Like, I'm not about to sit here and go like, some people just have too much pride. I feel, so when somebody says or do something, you feel like you gotta check them, because if you don't check, it's a time and a place, for stuff like that. And again, you are a man. So there's no reason for you to go back and forth with her. No, where's security? No, I'm not about to deal with you. You think you cussing me out? Okay. Yeah, security. Yeah, you gotta go. Like, but I'm not about to be all up in her face. Come back like he's sitting there like, I'm like, why are you going back and forth with her? That I just didn't get that. Like, why are you close to her? Why? I'm like, why you pumping your chest up like this? This is a whole woman. Like, what you pumping your chest all up on her for? All of that. Like, I guess she's being disrespectful, and there's protocol. Like, there's people that can deal with her. You're not one of those people, but you feel disrespected. Don't let her take your coin from you. She ain't worth risking your job and all of that shit for just because she got a smart mouth. So, like, there's gonna be plenty of people that you work with in customer service, especially, that you're not going to like, that are going to be rude just to be rude. Some people are rude to customer service just to be. There's plenty of people that get on the phone with certain people and y'all cussing them out, or certain people call your house, y'all cussing them out, and stuff like that. Just do it just to do it. It's part of the job. It comes with the territory. So if you can't handle it, then you should probably get out. But I don't feel that there was any reason for him to get all up in that woman's face. No, back up. And then if she kept approaching you, walk away. Go call security. Go call somebody to handle her. Because I'm not about to sit here and put myself in a situation to where I got to put my hands on a woman, because I'm still going to be looked at. You're a man. Like, it still should never came to the point to where you feel like you being as big as you are, all of that said, put your hands on her. Like, do you think you may feel good at that point, feeling like you're defending yourself, but at that point in time, I mean, was that really necessary? It wasn't necessary for her to put her hands on him. Right? That wasn't necessary. But it's still not, you're making a conscious decision to chase her. I'm going to get you because I am just in this. No, you're not. You're very so much not. Like, this is still a woman. Like, you don't need to. Now, if that was a man, that man shouldn't have put his hands on that man. He shouldn't have did that. So if he had to jump out of body because a man put his hands on me, feel like he needed to handle his business, it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's a whole female. Like, it's just for real. Like, I get it. I get being upset. I've been hit by a woman before. I have. But I didn't haul out. No, that ain't what you do. That it's not necessary. It isn't. Just like what she did was wrong. Me doing it to her it's gonna make things worse, especially for me. Because now people gonna look at me like that. Oh, that's the dude that was he hit a female he knocked a female out last time. He was like, Now, like I said, she was wrong for putting her hands on him. That should not have happened. But at the same time, you don't need to be chasing this woman and trying to fight her. He literally wanted to, you could tell with his energy, if they wouldn't have failed, he would have rocked her world. He would have rocked her world if they wouldn't have failed. Like, he was coming for her. So yeah, I just think that's crazy. Like, do you fight women? Like, is that what you do? Like, do you want to be looked at that way? As a man that be hitting on feet. But yeah, move right along. So I heard that he got suspended. I think that it was justified. I think you should have never let somebody, because there's going to be people that test you, and you're showing us how you test, and you ain't pass. Because that definitely right there, that's a test. Being an employee anywhere, you're going to be tested with people, and confrontations is all in how you handle them. So you're not about to get a clap on your back because, we see that she hit you. Yeah, you had every right. You had every right to chase her and, try to hit her. And you had every right. Yep. No, that's not how corporate is. That's not going to be the conversation. It absolutely isn't. You still got out of body. They have security in every airport. And this happened in Dallas. I've been to Dallas airport. They have plenty of security and police. that secure the perimeter. There's actual police, Dallas Police Department, Dallas PD, vests, everything on, weapon, all that. So it's just like, yeah, go get them, because that's what I would have did. Now you ain't flying, you ain't going to, now you about to go now. Now you ain't flying nowhere, you ain't going to, and you're going to jail. And you're going to jail. She put her hands on me and called me racist. I want to press everything. I want her arrested immediately and off of these premises. Like, yeah, she needs to go now. And then I would have told my boss that she needs to be put on trespass. She needs to never be able to come back to this airport again. Like, ever again. So she's going to have to get to Dallas another way. Because, no, she got me messed up. That's how I would have handled it. I would not have chased her. You know, like, you look crazy. You just look like you can't handle yourself. You look like you fight women. That just, you know, you hit girls. You don't have a problem with it. Because, you know. Yeah, moving right along. So R. Kelly's lawyer says Jocelyn Savage is not pregnant. Now, there's a rumor going around that Jocelyn Savage was pregnant and that R. Kelly was happy about it. So I was confused about that, because I'm going to be like, well, who to pat that? Because you got to be married to have conjugal visits where R. Kelly is, I believe. So with that being said, who would she have been pregnant by? I'm like, who the daddy? Because it's not him. I mean, he wouldn't be the father. He's in prison. So like, how about that? Like, is he just going to take care of the child? Or because it's clearly not his. So she's not pregnant. She is not. His lawyer said that people are just insane. So Hollywood Unlocked, Styles, Hollywood Unlocked, and the Neighborhood Talk says, as we previously reported, because they reported that Jocelyn was pregnant, Jocelyn Savage released a new 11-page book yesterday on Amazon. 11-page book. 11-page book. What is it? A coloring book? What? It's 11 pages long. Now I know R. Kelly could, maybe she made it 11 pages so R. Kelly could read it. Go on, girl. Always think about your man. Go on, girl. Savage released an 11-page book yesterday on Amazon, and in the book, Savage claims she was pregnant with the R&B singer's child. Months later, I began expecting severe morning sickness and was unsure what was wrong with my body. Savage reportedly writes, I thought I had contracted C19, but the most amazing news of all was that I was expecting. It was a happy day, but an incomplete time in my life. Today, I am grateful to God for giving me the most precious gift. Robert is extremely excited about the news that I am having a baby and feels sad that Robert will not be able to be here with us. Yet in a statement to TMZ, Kelly's lawyers, Jennifer, denied that claims, writing that Savage is certainly not pregnant with R. Kelly's child. Wow. Also expressed that Savage's book is not a tell-all memoir, while adding that people are just insane. What? Okay, so in the book, if she's saying that she was expecting, does she already have a baby? Because, I mean, she could already have a kid. I mean, she does stay out of the spotlight. So, like, did she already have it? I got to go read this 11 pages. I got to go read these 11 pages, girl, because I'm confused. It's like, what? Because the lawyer's saying that she's not pregnant. Okay. Like, weird. That is weird. I got to go read this book. Shout out to Chill Action. She said it's a picture book, Sean. So... so they could enjoy it together. I cannot. Thank you so much for the super. Maybe that's why I said she made 11 pages so he could read it. Yes, he's a toddler now. So she do have a kid with him already. she could have miscarried. Where the book at? That's a good question. Let me look. This is weird because now I'm confused. So it's like, does she already have a baby? Does she already like have one? Jocelyn Savage. Look. Should I write 11 pages? Okay, hold on. Let's read this. R. Kelly's fiance, Jocelyn Savage, to release tell-all book about living with the disgraced singer, reports say. R. Kelly's alleged fiance, Jocelyn Savage, is reportedly going to release a tell-all book about living in the disgraced singer's shadow on 13th of August. On 11th of August, it was reported that Savage 26 has authored a book about the beginning of my life in Robert's shadow. What? Where things began to take off and where they are currently going, titled Love and Joy of Robert. In an email to the New York Post, Savage allegedly said the book should be published on Saturday. She also neither confirmed nor denied her relationship status with the disgraced singer, who was sentenced to 30 years in prison on racketeering and charges earlier this year. Instead, she told the publication, everything will be answered in my book. The Independent has reached out to the representative of Savage for comment. In a letter, when Savage is said to have sent a judge before Kelly's sentencing in June, she reportedly described a 55-year-old as her fiance and denied she was one of his victims. Thank you for the opportunity to share my experiences, Savage wrote, according to TMZ, which obtained in the letter in July. My name is Jocelyn Savage, and I'm Robert Kelly's fiance. Okay, I'm not reading this letter. In a statement to TMZ, a lawyer for Savage's parents said Savage never made the engagement known to her family, nor has she ever spoken about the possibility of the pair becoming engaged. Yeah, because she don't want to do with y'all. Okay, I still don't get it. The book is on Amazon. Yes, it's 11 pages, girl. That's why I'm stuck on the 11 pages. Like, how's it a tell-all book with 11? Well, I mean, she only been there for 11 minutes. So, I mean, she wasn't there long. Because that's what I'm saying, living in Robert's shadow. What? You went for like, what, a year and a half? 2 years? Like, how long was she there? She acted like she was there the last 15 years. You know, or something like that. Like, girl, Robert's shadow. Girl, with 52 hours, right? Fan fiction could be, because she keeps telling everybody the answers and everything to everyone's questions is going to be in the book. So, Island, I don't know. I don't know. That's crazy. That is crazy. Anyways, let's keep going. So, I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. Boom. So, the teenager R. Kelly was accused of urinating on during his 2008 criminal trial is set to testify in his upcoming Chicago case. Okay. Now let's get into this. Let's pull up. Let me just Google her real quick. Because I was Googling her earlier. So let's pull up Reshona. Oops. Let's pull her up. Shall we? So Lysandra, which is Sparkle's niece, was the one in the original tape, the young lady that was in the original tape. She was in this group right here. Let me oops. Can I make this bigger? No, I can't. Alrighty. So she was in this group. Oh, I can pull it up. Oh, I can. So she was in this group as a teenager. She was very young. Inside of this group that Sparkle had brought to R. Kelly. Okay, allegedly. Now, Lysandra, which is the young lady in the middle of this photograph with the braids, the youngest one, is the girl that was in R. Kelly's first video that he was on trial for in 2008. Okay. She's also Sparkle's niece, the singer Sparkle. You better be careful what you do to me. Okay. With that being said, Sparkle is also the alleged one that brought the information forward and what was going on with her niece and Robert. She states that her family, her sister and her sister's husband, didn't want to do anything necessarily like about it. Well, not like literal, like she knew what was going to be before she saw the tape, because the tape was shown to her later. But before that, Sparkle said that there were signs that there were certain things going on, like Sparkle seeing this young lady around this age pretty much, at the studio by herself without her parents and without any supervision, you know. And at that time she was 14. She was 14. So she would be at the studio with no supervision. She would be there alone, you know, 14 years old. And her parents knew that she was there. Okay. Sparkle said that she contacted her sister and well, her family, I should say, the young lady's family, because the young lady would tell her when Sparkle would see that she was there, she would be like, Sparkle said that she would, you know, like, well, why are you here alone? You know, like, where is your dad or, you know, your mom? You know, why are you here by yourself? Like, do they know that you're here? And she would tell Sparkle, yes, you know, they do know that I'm here, blah, blah, blah. So Sparkle would make calls, she said, to the family to make sure that it was okay that she was there. And they would say yes, that it was okay that she was there alone, and whatnot. So it's not like Sparkle didn't know. So that's why I always blamed Sparkle for what was going on, because it upset me. Because, like, what was more important to you? If you see that this young lady is here around a lot of things that she should not be around, and there's a lot of things that's going on that she should not be around, why are you leaving her here? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you know what's going on here, why are you comfortable? Because I wouldn't have felt comfortable leaving her there. I would have either stayed with her or made her leave with me. Like, okay, well, girl, you can leave with me because I'm not leaving you here. If you could be here, then have your parents bring you back. But I can't leave here in good conscience knowing that you here. Like, I ain't gonna feel good about that, going to where I'm about to go, knowing that you here around a bunch of adults, you know, and whatnot, while they drinking, smoking, you know, doing what it do, you know, type of situation. Like, I'm not leaving you here. So to me, I felt like that was an excuse when Sparkle was, because you knew, like, I'm not gonna say like you literally knew what was going on, but you know what goes down here. If you're being offered certain things or certain people are trying to do certain things that you already, why would you think that she's gonna be exempt because she's 14? Why would you think that? Like, okay. So to me, it's like, why wouldn't I blame you? Like, I do. I don't care how Sparkle feels about it. I don't care. I will tell it to her face. You shouldn't have left her there. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have. So if you felt, because for you to contact her parents and to see if she's allowed, why is she here alone? And if she is allowed to be here alone, why? You know, you contacting them to see that, then that means that you felt something. You felt like this is an inappropriate place for someone her age. That is what it's given. That is exactly what it's given. Is that, if you ask me, I just feel like you knew something bad was going on, or you felt something in your spirit sparkle to make you feel like I need to call her family. I need to call her mom and dad. So you felt something. You did. So that you like I said, you may not have knew exactly what that feeling was, but you knew it didn't make you feel good. It was a bad feeling. It wasn't a good feeling. With that being said, you turned a blind eye instead of helping this young lady. That's why you felt so guilty. That's why you felt so guilty. Absolutely. That's why you felt that way. Because now, when it comes to anything else with R. Kelly, it is what it is. All right. When it comes to the other women, and stuff like that, I'll accept y'all opinions and saying that it was a setup and that it was this and that it was that and that it was this and that it was that. I was 15 years old. I'm like 14 or 15 years old. Not even. Probably even younger than that. 13 or 12 or something like that. And I walked in the room on my brother and cousin and his friends, and they're all teenagers, watching this video. They had stolen it from one of their dads. Well, because it was on sale at the time when it came out. I stood there and I'm not gonna lie, I watched out of curiosity. I was a kid, when all this happened in 2008. I was a kid. So when I was watched the part that I watched, now at this point in time, when the video was out, nobody knew anything about her age, or anything like that. It was just a video was out on Robert. That's all it was. It wasn't, people going around saying like, oh, it's a child or blah 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 or a minor or da, 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 da. Like that came later. Okay, so because there were people literally in Chicago, they were selling it bootleg. I'm from Indiana, so we were in Chicago all the time. It's a hop and a skip to get. They're literally right next to each other. So we're in Chicago all the time. They were literally selling them on the streets. People, while we're in traffic on the highway and stuff like that, stop and go traffic. The people that will walk up to you, because they were walk up to our cars and try to sell us like water and stuff like that. They were even trying to sell us the tape. Like they had bootlegs of the tape. It was on a VHS. I will never forget it. They had a VHS tapes and they were selling them. Literally. Selling them on the highway, literally walking up to the door with a bottle of water and the R. Kelly tape. Because I remember my mom got mad, because he wasn't nude on the front of the tape or anything. So, it wasn't like nudity or anything. It was just him, like what I think he didn't have a shirt on, and he had on a scarf, like a scarf on, and like he had no shirt. No, he had like that a white shirt, but he had it over his head, so it's like you saw his body. But it wasn't like he was like nude or anything. But yeah, and they were selling it like literally. So it was not hard to get. It was very easy to get. And with that being said, I did watch a decent proportion of it, but I came in on another part. It wasn't her because it was multiple women. So it wasn't just her. It was multiple women on the tape. So that's what I'm saying. When no one was saying anything about anybody being underage or anything like that. Nothing like that was said. It was supposed to be all grown women, fans, of his that he was, smashing, is what it was alluded, as. And then is this. I know for a fact that was Robert Kelly on that tape. You cannot convince me otherwise. That was him all throughout that video. He slept with her. He slept with this other really light-skinned girl. She was really light, like a beige. He slept with her because she was after her because she was first, and then the light-skinned girl was a light-skinned girl that was next. And he did everything. He ate everything, licked everything. So them songs, he do not be lying. Honesty is what he be saying. For real. The urinating, all of that. Saw it. That was him on that tape. And according to who this young lady is, at the time, she was 14 years old. It is what it is. It is what it is. Nobody's going to change that. It's the truth. sickness or not, he did this. Yes, he did. I saw it with my own eyes. I know what R. Kelly looked like. It was him. I'm like, so that's why I was shocked that he got away with it. I'm like, oh yeah, money really do equal power. Money really do equal power, because that is clear as day. It's him. Like, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. But he got, he was acquitted. So, but that was him. I'm like, yeah, that was you. That was you. So that's why I said, when it comes to all the Aaliyah stuff, that's all rumor. Besides, the only thing that can correlate and connect them to doing anything is the marriage certificate. That is it. That is what the only tangible proof that we have that they had anything romantically going on between each other. So if people want to argue about stuff like that and debate it and stuff like that, that's fine. But when it comes to this, non-debatable. I'm not about to debate about something I saw with my own eyes. I saw it. It was him. Like, clear as day. That is Robert Kelly. That's you. You remind me of my Jeep. Like, that's him. Like, so I mean, it is what it is. So that I'm not willing to argue about. And that I do feel like you should pay. So now he may not have paid for it. He does not realize the damage that he has done to Reshonda. And she stuck around. Even still to this day, because with her testifying, they're not going to get far. Because Reshonda's not about to go up there and really say too much of anything. I can almost guarantee it. Reshonda's not about to go up there and, oh, he did this, he did. No. She's not. She will go up there and say what she needs to say to leave. Like, but she's not going up there. No. Absolutely not. So they didn't get anywhere then with Reshonda, and they're not about to get anywhere now with Reshonda. It is what it is. But he's brought a lot of pain, that young, like, her whole life, basically. They've been dealing with each other, so that I'm not willing to argue about. Now, I argue about other stuff like that, or side with R. Kelly when it comes to other things. When it comes to Reshonda, you know what you did, and what you did was wrong. That girl was in a group. That was the reason that she was supposed to be at the studio, especially without guardians around and whatnot. He used that against her, just like he did with a lot of other people. But he's not the only one. There's plenty of people that sleep with the artists that don't have no intention of making them famous or anything like that. They just want to sleep with them. It's plenty of people that do that. R. Kelly's not the only person. It's plenty of people that just sleep with the artists. And if they can't sleep with the artist, they drop the artist. And what, like, it's what they do. Like, I mean, you either put out or get out. And yeah. So, but when it comes to Robert, he's guilty of that. And he does need to pay. He absolutely does. So if you feel like all these other people are lying, these other women are lying, okay, cool. Cool. Reshonda, I'm not willing to argue about that. I saw it with my own eyes. If you're not about to explain another person, his literal twin brother, then no, that's not a doppelganger. That is him. End of story. I'm not arguing with nobody about that. So that's why I can never side with Robert, because I can't side with somebody that's you've literally done wrong. You have. And you need to pay for those things. You do. You don't get to get away with them because you're rich. Because you were rich at a time, so you got to get away with all of that stuff. I mean, this man's recorded on tape stating that they should have did this a long time ago. Bragging, basically. Like, so all the trauma stuff that you did put on certain people, you feel like since they didn't get me then, they're never going to do it. Like rubbing it in people's face. You're like, no, that's crazy to me. And I just think that's crazy. So yeah, he definitely deserves to be where he is. In my opinion, yes. Karma, that's true karma. You got away with what you did to this girl back in the day. And don't get me wrong, R. Kelly's had a hard life himself. Still no excuse. You can't come to me and say R. Kelly had a hard life. There was a lot of stuff that happened to him. So you have to excuse him doing stuff to these. No, y'all excuse it because these is little black girls and y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. Because these is little fast black girls to the majority of y'all, the ones that do support him. Like it's to minimize the things that he's done is to minimize the victims. So I'm not minimizing. Reshonda is a victim. She absolutely is. She's a victim. So I'm not taking that from her because so many people already have. Robert, her mother and her father, because they need to be locked up and the key need to be thrown away as well. Because when he was on trial in 2008, they were in Europe on vacation. He made sure that girl did not testify. He made sure she didn't. He paid for them to go to Europe on his dime. They seeing the world while all of them need to be, except for Reshona. She the only one to me that don't need to be in jail. But her mother and her father need to be in jail. Sparkle, all of them should have to pay. Because all of it was turning their head while certain things was going on. If you come in this room and she already sitting in here with him in this bedroom, it ain't a microphone and nothing in here to record, nothing. Why y'all in here? That's going to be a red flag for me. A 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old sitting here with a 14-year-old. In the what's she doing here? Oh, we just okay, well, let's come out here and talk about it. Like, why are we talking about it in here? What y'all need privacy for? It ain't nothing you say to her that her parents can't hear, right? Or that anybody else that's breathing can hear, right? Because I know you wouldn't be in here saying anything inappropriate to a 14-year-old. Right. Okay, so you should be able to have this conversation anywhere. Why the intimacy? Why you remind me of my G playing in the background? Like what? Low. Half on the baby playing faintly. In the back, like what? What's this? Yeah, no. Yeah, come on, girl. Let's go. But instead, everybody enables him because they all feared him. Sparkle was too worried about her career to actually come to him with something like that. No, she was not going to come to him and say a word to him because she was too concerned about herself. So she would turn a blind eye. Like, I'm not about to let her ruin my career. And who knows, to me, Sparkle, I feel like he was low-key jealous of your niece. I feel like your niece got more attention than you from R. Kelly and you were pressed. I feel like you were jealous of her. Honestly, in my honest opinion. Because you get bitter. Like when you tell the story. Like, she was always around. She was always there. Even more reason for you to think, why is she here? Especially without her family. Like, girl, even more reason for you to be side-eyeing the situation. That's why you're side-eyeing it. Because you know something's going on here that isn't right. But you don't care because you don't like her. Girl, bye. You don't respect this girl. You're jealous of her. You're jealous. That's why it was easy for you to turn a blind eye. It was easy for you to do all of that. That was simple. You're the same woman that was married while sleeping with R. Kelly. You're the same one. Girl, y'all was sleeping with him at the same time. That's why I say you were jealous. Like you were pressed. You knew something was going on. And you felt like you needed to get rid of her. You wanted her gone so that he could pay more attention to you. Not that you were truly concerned about her because you would have never left her there. You wouldn't have did that. That would have been the reason y'all fell out. Sparkle, why wasn't that the reason you fell out with R. Kelly? It wasn't. It was over your career. All of that stuff had already happened. And I'm talking about with your niece. Not the trial and all of that. No. Just everything that you had saw. You had saw all of those things already. No police or anything like that was involved. And then the police came to you with a tape of her. Something you already knew. Like, girl, you was jealous of that girl. A concerned aunt would have been concerned from the jump. Now you concerned because there's a tape, although you knew something was going on. And you talk about her in a spiteful way. Like, you don't talk about her like, my niece, my love. Y'all should still have some form of type of relationship. She's staying away from you for a reason. Reshona has nothing to do with Sparkle. Nothing. Why? Reshona is super grown. Super grown. Can nobody tell her what to do? So if she want to have a relationship with Sparkle, she would. She don't. And that's for a reason. But let's not question that. Let's just sit here and believe every word she's saying on this documentary on Lifetime. Because she got to be telling the truth. Or she's here protecting herself, just like Andrea Kelly. Because she ain't going to make me believe that she wasn't in that room with her head behind her, leg behind her head, smelling like halls and grapefruits with them girls. Drea was R. Kelly's sex doll. He kept her up in the bedroom. So you best believe when he was smashing those girls, she was right there with him. She was right there with him. Now, maybe not every girl, but the majority. And there is girls that have stories about three because, you know, he loved menage a trois and stuff like that. There are women that would call you Andrea. There are women that have said your name. There are women that have said that. That's why you're going to like, he took me in a car and he hog-tied me. You know, it's like, girl, now you a victim. Now Rapunzel, please come down. Let your hair down. Now you a victim? Weren't you the queen of the castle? Don't nobody got no stories about Robert ever putting his hands on you. None. You seem to be the only one ever called. Nobody ever really saw you. So if he was keeping you up in the room, he was in a nice one. The nicest room. And R. Kelly toured a lot, so you had a lot of freedom. But she wants to make it seem like it was just torture that whole time. But your last name is still Kelly. If he was so controlling, don't you think that would have been the first things that you wanted to control? You even got married after him and still your last name is Kelly. Dre, somebody's lying here. Somebody's lying because this doesn't even make sense. Your last name is still Kelly, but you so traumatized by him and he did this and he did that, he did this and he did that. Why haven't you changed your last name? You proudly a Kelly. Proudly that. Okay, girl. All righty. Okay. Now, you can fool them, but you're about to fool me, girl. You were involved. You absolutely were. A willing participant in a lot of that ish. Willing. You tried it. Like whenever you get through. Like, but okay, Andrea, girl. All righty. So yes, Reshonda is supposed to be testifying, and I don't think that much will come from it. That's all I have to say about that. She's been quiet for a very long time. She does not speak on this much. She does not. Yeah, so I feel like she'll answer the questions that they ask her, and when they're done asking questions, she's gonna leave. She's gonna say what she has to say to get out of there. So I don't think there'll be much bombs dropped. I'll be shocked, you know, if she dropped any bomb because she's never testified before. Remember, in the first 2008 case, the victim did not testify, which was her. So she didn't testify then. This will be her first time having to speak about R. Kelly and allegedly have to tell the truth because, you know, and everything in court of law, they help me. So, but yeah, so it will be interesting. I'm excited to read those transcripts because I'm just interested to see what she has to say. She's been the most quietest out of all people. You know, her parents didn't say more than her. So I'm very interested as a grown woman to hear what she has to say. Maybe she had a change of heart. You know, maybe she didn't. Yeah, maybe she's still, because from what I hear, her and R. Kelly still have a relationship. Like they're still friendly with one another. She was still living with him, and I believe the Atlanta house before he went to prison and whatnot, he had the girl staying with him still. I believe she was there because they call her Big Mama. So, like I said, he's been manipulating her for a very long time. So I don't know if they're going to get very far. If you're going to get anything out of her, you know, she's been dealing with him basically since she was 14, like her whole life. She's been dealing with him. So I don't think she'll get far, because I mean, they'll get far. I mean, if they're trying to get any information out of her, that's what I said. I mean, she's older, but up into R. Kelly literally just went to prison, which was a few years ago. How long R. Kelly been in jail? Like 3 years, 2-3 years, something like that. Almost 4 years, something like that. She was with him, so she was still with him. Literally, she was the girl that trained the new girls in, you know, if you will, showed them what was what, where they stayed, and what they could do, what they couldn't do, and you know, the sexual things that R. Kelly's fond of and whatnot. So she was mother, you know, she was like the big sister, if you will. But they called her Big Mama, was her nickname. So I don't know if they'll get very far, but that is my show. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to read y'all comments, because there's been a lot of them. That's why I'm gonna put them on the screen, because there's a lot of comments. But I love you guys so much. And until the next show, which will be tomorrow, bye. No, just kidding. But no, we'll be live again tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all the super chats and super stickers, and all of that. I will get an update on this story, because there is an update coming. So I am excited to talk about it. I'm very interested in Reshonda. She has been the quietest out of all of the women. She's really never said much of anything. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say. I'm very I cannot wait, because I'm just like, well, what is she gonna say? Like, she's never said anything, like, ever. You know, that whole trial was about her, and she never said a word. You know, so I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. So yes, yes, and tomorrow we're gonna cover that 11-page book. Yes, tomorrow we will cover the 11-page book. We have to know what's in these 11 damn pages. Okay, I love you all. Until tomorrow's show.
Fresh, flex, fresh, flex.